recording, and this is Jay, and welcome to the Educated Retirement Radio here on KMET. This is part two because when we pre-record something, our engineer Sean can only stick it on the back end of things. And Daryl over here, he knows all about the back end of things.
Oh, yeah. I had my colonoscopy this year.
Oh, you had it already?
Yes, and you'll be pleased to know that, within the last 12 months, not.
No, that's all right. That's all
within
right.
within the last 12 months, and you'll be.
And can I ask?
And that was at City of Hope at their main campus in Duarte, and everything is fine and dandy, as they say.
I don't know about that, but at least your colon's fine and dandy.
Correct.
I don't know about,
The comma or the exclamation point.
Now, did you get the movie of it, of the experience?
I did not.
No.
And,
do you know what film crew? I mean, I usually try to use Spielberg, and his, his best boys and the lighting and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I think it might have been Francis Ford Coppola.
Okay.
They went a little bit more.
He's getting a little long in the tooth, but then again, so are we, especially me.
That's
so. Anyway, this is the Educated Retirement Radio here on KMET 1490 on your dial, and this is the show where we normally talk about retirement and get sidetracked most of the time and talk about nostalgia and things like that. But we've got Daryl McCance, who has a wonderful show here every Wednesday at 4:00. And that is, go ahead and we've got some other great people too. Ron Siegel is here every Monday through Friday at 6:00 with his home and finance show. And of course, Let Grandpa Speak is speaking every Saturday morning. I never miss that. I might have to this Saturday. That's tomorrow, okay. Because I'll be, I'll be recovering from surgery, which is happening right now while you're watching this. And you can see I've got my doctor's get up all ready to go because I'm going to assist on that.
Yeah.
As long as Daryl's here, let Daryl give a plug for his show. I didn't plug it because I know he's here, and let him plug it.
Right. We got the West Coast Business Review on every Wednesday and at 4:00. And I'm glad you mentioned Grandpa Speaks because, he is, one of his pet peeves is more quality content for seniors. And so as far as he's concerned, Jay, you're top notch.
I are old, if that's what you mean.
No, you're talking about products and services that are beneficial to seniors.
You got to admit, though, if you do watch regular television, which unfortunately I do a bunch of, the commercials are getting more and more aimed at oldies. You get more and more of the, the portable oxygen things and all the diabetes things and all the other drugs for older people and the hurricane. Now, what I remember about hurricanes was hurricanes, Alice. Can you read this? It's the hurricanes. And that's because Ralph Cramden belonged to his bowling league, or it wasn't a league. His club was part of a league, and that was the Hurricanes. And my wife had a shirt made for me, a bowling shirt that said Hurricanes, and I've still got it. But now two of me can fit in it. So
that's hilarious. I might have to borrow that shirt from you.
Yeah, well, you could probably fit in it because
I could fit in it.
You are larger than I am.
Well, you've got yourself medium right now. You're medium.
Yeah, but you know what?
I'm XL.
I keep trying to get you to plug your show, and we keep getting sidetracked. That's probably because of me and my big mouth.
No. I plugged it. It's a West Coast Business Review on every Wednesday where we put the spotlight on successful businesses all over the West Coast. So from the southern border to Mexico, all the way up to the northern border with Canada, we've in Southern California, we got a new group of neighbors: Arizona, Nevada, Idaho. We're very fortunate and to have such a connection with Silicon Valley and Seattle. And so anyway, we're having a lot of fun just putting the spotlight on some really amazing success stories in business. Now, because I mentioned Bill McLeod, who you and I just think the world of, and he really would like to see more content focused on that 55 plus, because they buy more new cars than any other group, and they buy, they're just a very important group, and so much is geared towards 18 to 38 demographic. And but you are really dedicated to seniors, Jay, and really focusing on products that can help their quality of life, and with the educated retirement program. So I think Bill would like you. Now, me, on the other hand,
you are always on the other hand.
Right. We've got companies that are really providing some great products and services to all the above, from City of Hope to you name it, Moonshine Lamp Company. So we're all over the place, and we're having
City
fun.
of Hope still exists after your colonoscopy?
Yes, they do.
That's surprising.
Yeah, and the heavy equipment operator that they had to assist them.
I
understand he got a pay increase.
No kidding.
But yeah, they're doing amazing things out there. We just couldn't be more proud of the group there at City of Hope and all the successful businesses.
Yeah. Well, I'm at Hogue right now, even though it looks like I'm at home. I'm not. I'm at Hogue. And this is going to be about 4:00 or a bit after 4:00. So I'm hoping I'm done already.
Nice.
But who knows? You never know. And sometimes the surgeon doesn't know until he, quote, gets in there and sees what might or might not be a roadblock. Inflammation causes roadblocks that have to be dealt with as it goes, whether it's inflammation that's bothering you or scar tissue from the past. So we'll hope for the best.
Yep. So those that are listening right now know that this was recorded 24 hours ago. And so as you are listening right now, Jay Kaplan, the world famous Jay Kaplan, has just rolled out of the ER, and his facelift will have been completed. His tummy tuck will be completed. Or OR rather. OR, I'm sorry. Yeah, OR. So his tummy tuck will have been completed. His facelift will have been completed, and he'll be on the mend, as they say.
And this will be gone. See, this is the sick kidney. See, taking his temperature there.
Oh yeah. So while they are working on his facelift and his tummy tuck, they're also going to remove one of his kidneys that is problematic.
Yeah.
Lucky for him that his maker gave him 2 kidneys.
Right. That's exactly what the doctor said. Here's the good kidney, and I don't think we should keep it out too long. Let me give this guy back to the surgeon to put back in right away. Okay.
Okay. So those that are listening, Jay Kaplan just put up to his monitor a cartoon caricature of a kidney with
now this is what came out last
on.
year. This was the gallbladder, and that's gone now, but he looks happy. But what can I say?
Right.
They're innocent. Gallbladders are
innocent. It seems to me that you're getting rid of all your extra parts.
Yes, they are definitely whittling me away, as they say. But they're whittling me away from the inside out.
Well, last year you were 3X, and this year
no kidding.
You're a medium.
Yeah.
So now you're looking more like Brad Pitt than ever.
But I'm a medium on the the surfboard and surfers type style, not the adult.
Well, since you're always torturing your listeners with references to the movie business and movies and trivia, you went from Orson Welles to Brad Pitt in 1 year.
Both guys are very talented. Orson Welles is a little closer to my heart. I love, Citizen Kane. I love I think Journey into Fear was on, or maybe it's on right now on something like. But and of course he loved Musso and Franks, as so do I. Now, let me ask you an important question, Daryl. Musso and Franks, have you been there?
Have not.
Okay, now see Musso, have you heard of it?
I think keep talking.
It's
I'll tell you
just
if
as
I.
famous, and probably it was older than places like the Brown Derby,
Okay.
Jason's, and it's still there and it's still growing strong. And one thing I used to like to get there were lamb kidneys sauteed, but I'm not sure that I'm going to be excited about eating kidneys from now on. But we'll see, right?
Start out small with kidney beans. Okay.
Now
Start with
you know
kidney
what
beans.
you let me see. How are you doing? You're doing okay. Good.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're going to take one of your kidneys. In fact, right now, as you're listening to this, they removed just moments ago one of Jay Kaplan's two kidneys. So he woke up with two kidneys. He's going to go to bed tonight, Friday, with just one
One.
happy, healthy kidney.
Right. And I did buy a Mr. Potato Head kit so that we can end up with a Mr. Kidney Head.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just spray paint it red, and that'll be.
Well, we'll have to see if it's blushing or not after we get it.
Nice. Did you order it on the internet?
Absolutely. Isn't that what we all do? It's an Amazon thing.
Yeah. That they seem to be doing well on their market share.
Yeah, especially after this news gets out there.
Oh yeah. This will change the markets. So for those that are listening right now, how long are you anticipating your recovery?
Well, they say 3 to 5 days. They hope 3 days. That would be Saturday, Sunday. So I might be able to get out Monday, maybe Tuesday, worst case Wednesday, and that would be not necessarily complications, but weakness. I would tell you what the doctor said that he gauges when I can go home by, but I think Sean would probably cut it out. So,
Got it.
well, yeah, it's passing certain things, not
Right.
not 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 solid things, just passing.
Oh yeah. Just the
Passing Daryl.
Oh, there we go. Now that paints a clear.
Then we know you're healthy and you get to go home.
Nice.
But it's very interesting, and I don't want to get into too much of this, but they fill your stomach with carbon dioxide or CO2, like a seltzer bottle.
Right.
And because it really opens it all up, and then they can see inside and all that kind of stuff. So that afterwards, that creates some pain in your upper stomach for a couple of days. So
Well, make sure they take some pictures because you can put that on your website.
I want to see the whole thing. I want them to take a video and see the whole thing.
Yeah. And
like they did with your colonoscopy. They took the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. They just refused to give me a copy of it.
I don't know why. Well, maybe they're waiting to put it on Netflix.
Yeah. They said it was unrated. So they got to get it rated before they bring it back. So that's great. So we're on the educated retirement with Jay Kaplan right now. Those that just tuned in. And I feel like he is a great representation of, when you're in retirement, you're going from vacation. Sometimes you got to go to the doctors and get checked in and make sure everything's inspected. And you've done a great job, Jay, talking about educated retirement.
Thank you. But you know what? I enjoy this a lot.
Yep.
Whether it was part of business or not, I really enjoy it. And I think, and Grandpa will tell you this too, and looking at the color of your hair, you're not too far behind.
Oh, it's gray.
That's right. You notice my new pair of glasses, I got them dark black to match my hair color, but it's what can I say?
But I'm proud of you for going in and getting your checkups. I like to pick on you, but you've been doing a great job. Get in, identify things while they're small. That way they can take care of things. You know what?
Let's talk about that a little bit, because that is just something that's not normally done in this. I'm not going to get political in any way, shape, or form here, but let's just get healthy here.
That's right.
If your insurance won't pay for a CAT scan or an MRI save up your money and get it done anyway. They couldn't have told that I had this other problem unless I had the pancreatitis and the MRI and the CAT scans. And now I get a CAT scan like every 3 months or so. And that's how they found this new thing. So, without that, you wouldn't know it. And I think I've said this on the air before, that so many people perhaps pass away from cancer because they never know they have it until it's much too late.
Yep.
And that's because you don't get screened anywhere near enough. So I always joke about it. Pretend you're sick, go to the emergency room, not now because they're so crowded, and pretend you're sick, and then your insurance will cover most of it. You can get an MRI for nothing, or
Nice.
for whatever it costs for the visit.
Well, we had, I know you're a big fan. I know that Hogue and City of Hope are working together to help keep you healthy. I know you're proud of both of those organizations.
Oh, yeah.
And when we had the head of surgery for City of Hope, he reminded everybody that right now they can get 90 to 95% of these cancers under control. So someone will die of old age, not cancer, if they can catch it in stage 1 or stage 2. 90 to 95% of all cancers, and that goes right into the educated retirement right there.
Right.
Because that is the prevention. And then he also said 5-10 years ago it was a different story.
Sure. Yeah.
But they're making such advancements. So those that are listening right now that think, I heard such and such 5 years ago, I heard so and so 10 years ago, I heard something 15 years ago, throw that out. What they can do right now is amazing. And even people that have stage 4, stage 3,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable what they can do. But as Jay Kaplan just said, you got to get in,
Yeah.
get it checked out. If you can't do it this week, try to get it done next week. If you can't do it this week, try to do it next month.
Yeah. Do it for yourself. Do it for Daryl
Correct.
and for Jade, and do it yourself.
Absolutely. Yep.
And your family and all the people who love you, and that kind of thing.
Yep.
And yeah, so I talked to somebody that had stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and he's alive today. And he was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer 10 years ago. So he's still around. And they can do pancreatic. They can do when they replace it, the thing I'm trying to find for my brain,
Right.
They can do that with the pancreas, but it's tough. It's
You're
really,
talking about the transplants and
yeah. And there's Dennis trying to call. I'll have to call him back. Yeah, I've still been trying to get a brain transplant for a long, long time.
Right.
But
Me
I
too.
guess
I'm on the list. I'm on the list. Are you on the list?
Oh yeah. And I guess the guy that does the pancreas replacements, he charges $1 million per patient. And he now owns the Los Angeles Times, and he's moving it from downtown to Santa Monica. So I don't like that guy anyway. But according to my personal pancreas doctor, surgeon, he says, yeah, they can take the whole pancreas out and you can live a pretty much normal life.
Wow.
You have to be insulin, dependent, but so are millions and millions and millions of diabetics insulin dependent.
Wow. I had not heard that. That's amazing.
I hadn't heard that either until he said so. So there is so much going on to keep us around.
Well, hey, listen, I got another one. You just shared a secret, which is if you're concerned or something doesn't seem right, get into that emergency room, especially if you feel that you don't have the proper finances. You gotta make sure you take care of your health, your family, your friends and family, and all of us. We need you around for the long term. But there's another secret, Jay, that I just recently learned on this subject, and that is you can not only save your own life, but you can save 3 lives. So if somebody says, what, I've never saved a life before, and you can actually save 3 lives. And we just found this out from the CEO of Lifestream Blood, which is a major And you can give blood anywhere, that's one of the
Wasn't
things.
there a series called I Led Three Lives or something?
Could be, but every time
Oh,
you give,
another subject. Sorry.
right, but every time someone gives blood one time, it can save, and oftentimes does, saves 3 lives. It's a pretty interesting trivia that I had not heard. I didn't realize it was that significant. So yeah, so those of you that have given blood, congratulations, and
Absolutely.
keep up the good work. And those that have not, do it, because if you give blood, each time you do it, we were told recently that it's oftentimes gives them the ability to save 3 lives, which is really hard. That is a major wow. Now here's the secret. They find things, Jay Kaplan. So here you are giving blood to help somebody else, and they are doing an analysis on your blood, and it saved people's lives where they went in to give blood. And
of course, they have to check it to make sure it's okay to give to others. And
right. Well, yeah, they check it, but through that whole process of checking, you're absolutely right. They say, guess what? They've had people that were giving blood and thought everything was fine, and next thing you know, it turned out that it saved their life. They had to get in and get something resolved. So I think that is just such a great secret, that these people that are giving blood are getting something for their own personal health, where they're doing, and it's a significant screening. In other words, they're doing, expensive analysis, and if they find something, wow, that's a win-win. Everybody wins. So that goes along with your ER recommendation. Give blood, if especially now. Jay Kaplan and I are both working with people, and we know what's really going on with individuals' incomes and how they're really doing, and we know about inflation and how much things really cost. And those that are listening right now, if you're feeling the pressure, the financial pressure, and you're putting off some of this routine medical examinations, don't do it. Just be really diligent. I've got one real close friend, Jay, that every time he'd go get his physical, it came out thumbs up, no problems. The last time he went in, they found cancer.
Yeah.
And if he hadn't gone in,
they wouldn't find it.
That would have been it. And they told him it was a real fast growing cancer. So this stuff is serious. Everybody get your physicals, get your blood work done as recommended by your medical doctor. Speaking
of inflation, did you hear the one about now? Did you say inflation earlier?
I did. I mentioned that just a moment ago.
Yeah. Okay. The guy that went in the secondhand store and bought a used football that was kind of flat.
Okay.
And asked, how much does this cost? And the proprietor said $5. And the customer said, well, can you pump it up for me before I take it? And he said, sure. So he pumped it up till it was nice and, regular football. And the customer went to pay for it. And the proprietor said, that'll be $10. And the guy said, well, I thought it was $5. And he said, well, inflation.
Oh, I get it. That's a good joke, Kaplan. That was
actually it came from Dennis. So yeah.
That was well delivered. I wasn't familiar with that definition of inflation lately, but of course, and to charge $5 to inflate a football, that's labor. You have to hire someone and they have to go buy a air compressor and pay for the
this was just a little pump, but same thing.
Same thing. Oh yeah. Well, that means it's done by hand. I'm surprised it didn't cost them $11.
Oh yeah, because of the labor.
Correct. Yep. So we are, as I said, we're looking at people's income every day, and Jay Kaplan is specializing in working with seniors and making sure that they have a short-term plan, an intermediate plan, and long-term plan.
Yeah, because I always say, fill up your tank to make it all the way. Now, I didn't come up with that, I'm not sure whether it was Phil or whether that was Dr. Fow. Both have been on my show several times. And do you have any guests that you want to talk about coming up, or do you like to keep those surprises?
No, wait a minute. You just mentioned we've had Phil Walker on as well.
Oh, yeah.
And why don't those that are listening right now, just in case they missed Phil Walker, it could be argued that what he shared with your audience may be one of the biggest announcements since the 1950s, when they had modern portfolio theory was brought out to help the advisors and share with their clients, and but until now, and it was published in Phil Walker's report. It was published in what journal? Do you remember, Jay?
The Journal of Financial Planning.
The Journal of Financial Planning,
It's the big time one.
A really big deal. And for those that
here's Phil Walker playing the saxophone, which he does a great job of. Have you gotten this yet?
No, I have not.
Well, you better do that.
Well, it's obvious to me that Phil Walker likes you better than me.
No,
that's okay. That's very common.
I bought it through, I went to his website and bought it like everything else.
Nice.
And, I want to make sure I paid full price because I want him to continue doing this. And he will autograph it for you also.
Well, yeah, he's an amazing jazz saxophone player, and I think his favorite style is jazz, but I could be mistaken.
You're right. You're right.
Is it jazz? Okay. And then, but for those individuals right now listening to the Educated Retirement with Jay Kaplan, let's get to what Jay's day job is and the amazing publication that as you just mentioned, the Journal of Financial Planning. They referenced it on the cover. They tackled the issue, and this could really help financial planners,
right?
As you say, make sure that their clients, retired persons, do not run out of gas. So you want to make sure that, as you're driving that car along the road of life, that you don't run out of gas. You want to make sure you got more gas than you need. And so why don't you just share a little bit with your listeners, Jay, what you learned from Phil when he was on? I think it's fascinating.
Well, I learned so much from Phil. We don't have time actually for all of that to come out, but I think what you're kind of
the highlights.
This is a fancy way of putting it. What you're drilling down to is not the heavy equipment stuff you talked about earlier, but the fact that it is such a useful tool for people who have investments, who are living off of their investments. They may have Social Security, of course, things like that, some pensions, but a lot of times the quote mass affluent, which doesn't mean millions and millions, it means up to a couple of million or so in their retirement.
Like 500,000 to
or even less.
So it's right. So it'd be or even less. But they're they had a 401k, and now they're retired, and they're sitting down with their financial advisor trying to figure out how to make sure that the monthly income,
and having a home equity conversion, which Phil keeps reminding, and he did also today, because I listened to one of his webinars for financial planners that was on a little bit earlier today.
Yep.
And, he reminds everybody that the word reverse is not even in the name of this product, but people still refer to it. I think a lot of that has to do with us. I think some of that's our fault as originators. We continue to call it reverse because a lot of times the counselors do. Anyway, just to get beyond that, the people that have money in a retirement fund, I always think of those dollars in a retirement fund as little people. Each dollar is a little people, and they're in a mine shaft or something, picking away at the walls, picking the money out of the walls. Well, if you have a bad year, okay, and usually if you have a bad year, most people do, but sometimes you pick the wrong investment or the wrong equity to be in, and you don't get the kind of return that you thought you would. Well, what do most people do? They sell off those equities, which to me means they're firing those little people. And those little people are no longer there to help you make money in the future. So what Phil is saying is don't sell off. Keep exactly what you have there. Wait for the rebound because there's always a rebound, it seems like, right? And in the meantime, take some money from your home equity conversion line of credit, and that can be done on a normal HECM. If you're talking about a jumbo and you have to take out a larger amount, you can do that and put that in a separate account and use it for an interest-bearing account and use that for the same purpose. But on those bad years or those years where you're not making what you thought you would, keep your equities, stocks, bonds, whatever, where they are. Draw from your line of credit for that year only, and then go on. And then you've still got all of those little people or dollars working for you in the future.
Yep. And it's interesting that when he does his presentation, and for the record, those that are listening right now, you want to get all your financial advice from your trusted licensed advisor, but we're just sharing some information that came out of this journal, and the research that came out of Phil Walker's published paper.
Because he feels, as we do too, I'm sure you do too, that the key to understanding this product and how important it really is, a lot of that is up to us, but a lot of that is also for the quote people with that have a lot more in the way of investments. It has to do with their financial planner.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating, and the fact that he said most people in retirement, since we're on the Educated Retirement Show with Jay Kaplan, retirement, they only see 3 or 4 of these down years in their entire time.
Right.
And he goes, when you're working, when you're hard at work as a younger person, say, and there's a down year, you don't panic because you're putting money in your 401k. But when you are in retirement, those down years are very serious, because when you were young, you had a down year, you didn't go in and pull money out. You kept putting money in.
Right.
And you let those little people work. The Jay Kaplan, just all those little people, each little dollar bill is a little person, and you didn't fire them when you were building your 401k. So there's no point in firing them when you're in retirement.
Right.
And it's a fascinating report. And I think the financial planners are going to love it because it's helping reduce risk, giving the folks in retirement the ability to sleep better at night. And the other point that he makes is for decades, there has been a what's turning out now to be a myth, and that is all debt is bad. Bad. And this product you're talking about that was designed by the United States HUD's Federal Housing Administration, when the retired persons apply and get approved for this. What's nice is if they do pull a little money out that year when they were having a down year in their investments, there's no monthly payment that they have
right
to make.
Now you can always make monthly payments and just keep that as a. But one thing Phil reminded, because this webinar was actually one it wasn't really meant for us, it was meant for financial planners, is he kind of threw out the question is, in most cases, we can't guarantee anything, but in most cases, are you going to have more equity if you never make a payment from the day you get your reverse mortgage or your HECM to whatever, 10, 20 years, 30 years later, you're going to have less equity or more equity? And the answer, except for like 2008 or whatever, the answer is you're going to have more equity than you did the day you took out the HECM.
Yeah, it's really, it's really neat now with all of the automation, just like we were talking earlier about City of Hope. There's things they could do today they couldn't do 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. And same with these products that have been designed for seniors in retirement. And it's really nice that those seniors that are lucky enough to be in their home, they love their home has equity, and to have that set, and to call Jay Kaplan, say set it up in case of an emergency. If there's a bad year in the stock market, do not, according to Phil's research, and as you said, it's been premiered on the Journal of Financial Planning, which is the big publication, national, and other places. He's being interviewed all over the place, and I know you and I are real proud of Phil Walker and
Oh yeah.
and his team, and
Well, we're both proud to call him a friend, I think. Right?
Correct. So those that are listening, when you see your financial planner the next time, ask them if they have had a chance to look at the journal, and is that something that would benefit them, lower their risk, allow them to be more prepared for a rainy day. And if the answer is yes, then you simply contact Jay Kaplan.
Now, Daryl, do you have a copy of that article?
I do, on the
because I do too.
Yep.
And I could send it to you. I could send it to any of the listeners, my show, your show.
Yep. And you also have the Use Your Home to Stay at Home document from the National Council on Aging. That's another great document that you can email to anybody that's
we do, when we take applications and proposals, we do that. Yeah.
So there's all kinds of neat resources. And then you mentioned Dr. Fau, and he's got some amazing publications. And he's the books that he's produced are
amazing.
They're amazing. They're detailed, and
they're just out of reach, or I would show them.
Yeah, and they will not put you to sleep after reading them for a few minutes. Because anything, and again, that's what's so fun about being on the Educated Retirement Show with Jay Kaplan, is we can talk about all the wonderful things out there that make for the quality of life much better for the seniors. And if Bill McLeod of Grandpa Speaks, who's a young 91 years of age, if he could hear us talking right now, and maybe he's listening.
Well, maybe you can have him on the first part of the show.
Right. He would be so proud that we are talking about things that can make the lives of seniors more enjoyable, the higher quality of life, taking stress out, reducing risk. And these products are only for them. And that would really make Bill McLeod happy, because there's a lot of products that are designed for 18 to 38 years old of age, and they get a lot of marketing and advertising. And these are for seniors only.
Now, what I've said about Bill McLeod is if you watch him on video, he looks like he's about 60 years old. But if you meet with him in person, which we have, he looks to me like he's about 50.
It's amazing. And he has been nominated for 5 Emmys. He walked away with 3 of them.
Right.
And he's a published author, and just a neat,
and he's still working all the time. Yep. He's a real advocate of staying busy, as we are too. And, as you get older, Daryl, stay busy, because I know it's in your blood anyway.
Yeah, but did you, I know when we last met with Bill McLeod, who broadcasts here right on KMET, as Jay said, every Saturday, Grandpa Speaks. The other thing that was neat was not only does he want to see more advertising and products and services, high quality, brought to the attention of seniors, but what I walked away from our last meeting with Bill was he wants to see 2 other things, so 3 total. And the 2 others are truth in broadcasting and truth in advertising. And I thought, wow, that's wisdom. When you have a chance to spend time with somebody that's 91 years old.
Of course, truth in advertising is quite a mountain to climb.
Yep. But
no matter what age we're talking about.
Yep. But everybody needs to be making the best effort to always be very careful. And by the way, on that tune, Mr. Kaplan, my DRE number is 00947-871. and my NMLS number is 450-569. And every time we talk about anything real estate or financing related,
Yeah.
we have to provide that information.
And we are kind of doing that, but I think it's a good idea to do it anyway. There's my card, KMET,
I love it.
QR code. And of course, my NMLS number is, and I say it on the show every day, is 384-565. Department of Real Estate, 792-630. And I don't sell real estate, but I like to stay on top of those kind of things. So there.
Absolutely. But yeah, Jay, it's really great to be on the Educated Retirement Show with Jay Kaplan. And
well, it's more than that. You're actually helping a great deal because I'm not here. I'm still here on Earth. I'm just a little bit in orbit right now.
Yeah. If you're listening right now, Jay Kaplan, the world famous Jay Kaplan, has just recently been brought out of the operating room with one less kidney. Okay. When he woke up this Friday morning, he had 2 kidneys and now he has 1.
And here's the let me
and for those that are listening, he's showing a picture of a cartoon character of a kidney that doesn't feel well. And
right.
he's taken its its heartbeat now, and it's got a thermometer in its mouth.
Yeah.
And show me the picture, Jay, of the healthy.
Okay, but remember, we can't keep him out too long because the surgeons will be leaving soon, and we need to put him back in.
Okay, now I'm looking at a picture of a healthy kidney with boxing gloves and a big smile on his face.
Yeah.
Okay. Give him back to the doctor.
Yeah. So we get him back.
Yeah, because he's got double duty now. He's where there was 2, there is now 1.
Right, and they say you can get along with 1, but I was born with only 1 brain, and then how that turned out. So hopefully this will be better.
Absolutely. So yeah, so we are talking about Jay's favorite subject, which is the home equity conversion mortgage. And he's got his doctor get up now, and he's known in the industry as Dr. HECM.
Home equity conversion mortgage.
Yep. So so seniors that are lucky enough to have their houses free and clear, or currently a small mortgage,
or like 50%. And these interest rates, I mean, we really can get up higher than right now.
Right. Well, just for those that are not familiar, give them a little highlight of because the programs, like you said, with the what are we going to call it? The improvements. Like when I was talking to the head of surgery at City of Hope, he talked about all the improvements over the years. And I think the industry has done a lackluster of educating our seniors on how the product has improved.
Now they've done a good job of improving the product.
Oh yeah.
Even though you and I maybe at times questioned that, they turned out to be pretty much correct on their judgment on that.
Right, but as far as the consumer,
that's different.
As far as the consumer, no, I mean, other than the Educated Retirement with Jay Kaplan, there's very limited numbers of individuals out there that are really broadcasting how things have improved, what is new, what is better, what's improved. You've really dedicated years to this, and so pretend like this is the very first time ever, Jay Kaplan, that you talked on this subject, and give a little few minute highlight of what it is. It is right, which is the HECM.
Well, the HECM is basically the home equity conversion mortgage. I think of it more of a program than a mortgage, wherein you as a senior or you as a family put yourself in a much safer and protected position. You don't lose your equity, you still own your home, but now you have a loan that you can make payments on whenever you want to, or don't make payments on if you don't want to. And if you never make a payment, given the fact that we've got such a high appreciation rate in a lot of the country, especially California, for sure, we've been at about 6% for over 60 years average, except for 2008. And the rates are nowhere near that. And just consider that when you get a loan, it's for a portion of the property. This much is appreciating at the 6 or higher, like up to 18% this last year. And what you're paying at 3% or less or thereabouts is a small portion, or no more than about half of that. So you can see where Phil Walker was saying you're not going to lose equity. You're just not going to. But what are you going to gain? You're going to gain a lot of peace of mind. You're going to gain a lot of safety. You now have a loan that is insured by the FHA insurance fund. Now, this is not a government loan. It's administered by the government.
And
So
it's insured by the Federal Housing Administration,
right,
which is under HUD, US
right.
HUD.
And what that insurance does for you is several things. For one thing, no matter what happens to the bank, you get the benefit no matter what, which means you get a line of credit. And I don't want to get into this too deep because that'll take a while. But usually with a HECM, you get a line of credit. Now, that line of credit isn't money that's taken out of your house and put into something else or any investment. It's just a specific amount that the lender or bank, in order for them to participate, in the program, they must promise to always make that line of credit available to you, the borrower. And no matter what happens to the value of your property, that line of credit is still there. It can't be canceled, cannot be taken away, just like a normal quote HELOC can be. Nobody's ever going to freeze it because they're afraid of rates or they're afraid of what's happening to property values. It's always there to take advantage of. And one of the best ways is the way that Daryl and I had spoken, given what Phil Walker had said. On the other hand, that line of credit can be used for anything you want. And perhaps the biggest reason is healthcare. Other thing is memories. The other thing is to be able to give to your children, your grandchildren, whether that's gifts, down payments, help in education. But, as we get older and we are living longer and longer, healthcare has not been a part of baby boomers' financial plans. They're coming onto that late. And we need a way to make sure you can pay for in-home care. And as that steps up over the age. Now, as that steps up, the value of that line of credit also steps up. I know this is a lot to swallow at one time, but it's just an overview. Whatever is in that line of credit on the day that you get your loan, it will increase. I don't care if the value of your property goes down, doesn't matter. The amount in that line of credit is going to increase continuously, compounding every month in your favor. And what it does is we're not going to say a rate, but we're going to say it increases at a value that's equal to whatever you would owe plus the mortgage insurance, whatever that is, on the one side of the equation is helping you on this side. So you've got a real hedge against inflation. You have a real hedge against lowering property values should that ever happen.
You mentioned gift, and it's really neat. There's and if somebody does use a line of credit, it's always important for people to know that doesn't affect your property value.
Never.
So there's a lady, because I think we learn a lot from stories.
Yeah.
There's a lady.
Let me just say, I think we're getting near the limit of our time for this.
Okay, perfect.
So you might want to say, don't lose those stories. Say those in the first half, and don't forget those so that you can say them, still today. In fact, you already said them. if we're if we're doing this in that order. So
Okay,
we've
so
got 52 minutes, and I think we're just about at that point in time. And that's what Sean needs for a segment. Of
okay, so we're done on that
we're
first
kaput,
segment. Okay,
but
now here
not done
now,
for, just
now,
done.
now let me ask you a question. Why don't we just plow forward and let's keep the momentum and just send it in.
Well, we've got to cut this one right now, and we can start on some more also. But let me put an end to this one, and then we can talk a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, let's keep we got
Okay, I'm going to put an end to this video, and then we can talk. Thank you so much.